Have you ever seen March of the Penguins, where they go and they march in Antarctica and they huddle up in a group and we all protect our eggs and we wait until the eggs hatch and then we feed our young? It's just the most beautiful thing. You never see that in humanity. That's why I just love the penguins.
Well, we don't have to stop.
Okay, there we go. Now we're recording.
Okay, so as Mr. Wyant explained, the decision that was made about the headgear, not the costume, is that correct, Mr. Wyant?
That is correct. He can wear the costume, but he cannot wear the headgear.
Well, what about the people who are like Islamic and they can wear their headgear?
We're going to talk about you.
Okay. I feel like I'm being singled out against everyone else because other people are allowed to wear their headgear, and this is just me expressing who I am. I feel like you guys are trying to discriminate against people who identify as different species.
What we're just asking you to do is not to wear the headgear.
I don't feel comfortable without it on sometimes. I don't feel confident. It upsets me without it on. I feel like myself. This is who I am. I don't.
So what's going to happen, Kevin? I'm going to go call Mom, and then she's going to come pick you up, okay? Because
he's talking.
You're refusing to listen to what we're trying to tell you. We've already made it clear about the headgear. You can't wear it.
This isn't against any rules, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's against.
Kevin, we appreciate you identifying with whomever you want. We don't have an issue with that. Right now, what we're doing is we are discussing the headgear as it is based on our school research, which then was used to put together the dress code guidelines.
Can I see an agenda book, please, with the dress code?
You were issued one.
Yeah, I know. I could go get it, but my backpack's in my class. If you don't mind, I'll go get it.
No, that's okay.
Can you show me the agenda book with the rules then? Because I can actually point out to you. In the agenda book, it says that there are exceptions for headgear.
At this point, Kempton, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let Mr. Wyant finish what he started talking about contacting Mom here.
Yeah, we're gonna call Mom, and we're gonna have Mom come in and get you, because I'm not gonna create a situation where you are not following my directions, okay? And you were given clear and specific rules on what you could and could not do, and now you're violating those.
I was just told this now.
Okay. Well, so what I'm gonna tell you is, you can take off the hood, and you cannot wear it again, or I'm going to call Mom, and I will have Mom come pick you up.
But the hood is something you can't tell people to take off.
I'm not going to argue with you, okay?
I'm not trying to argue either. I'm pointing out the rules to you, sir.
No.
Have you seen the Georgia laws for discrimination? You can't discriminate against someone by who they are. I identify as a penguin, and this is me as a penguin. This isn't a hood. This is my penguin head. You can't tell me not to be a penguin, because I mean I was born a penguin, and honestly that's against the law to discriminate. And if you go through with this, I will let the ACLU know, and they will send their people.
I need to call your mom, okay? And we need to get her to come so I can talk to Mom. Because right now you're not following what I'm asking you to do, okay?
But I mean, you can't ask things that are against that. You can't ask someone who's Islamic to go take off their turban. That's not okay. You can't ask me to take off the penguin. It's just the same for me as it is for them. It's as upsetting for someone who's deeply devoted to Islam to ask them to take off their turban in school as to take off my penguin costume without my consent.
Kempton, why don't you go ahead and finish eating your lunch?
Okay, that sounds good.
And we'll get Mom to come in. And we'll talk to Mom.
I don't think my mom wants to come in. I think she actually consented for me to handle it. Because she knows that I'm pretty informed on this kind of thing. It's just me expressing who I am, and really, I mean...
Well, actually, I don't... Your mom really can't consent to that because really you're a minor, so your mom is your guardian.
I'm a penguin, actually.
You're a penguin?
Yeah.
So you're a minor, meaning that you're under a certain age. And mom and dad are responsible for you, so that's why I'm going to call Mom.
And say what exactly?
I'm going to tell Mom that you're refusing my directions.
But your directions aren't something that are legally allowed. Like, that's against the law for you to ask me that. Like, you're aware that you're breaking Georgia state laws, and if I could call up the superintendent and I'm already deeply offended by this conversation after I've told you that I'm not comfortable taking this off and that this is part of me, and that you're already discriminating against me by taking me out of the lunch and singling me out in front of all of the A lunch, which was very upsetting.
And again, Kenton, this is typical of any interaction that I have with you, whether or not it's in a penguin suit or not.
I'm sorry.
The last time that we had the same kind of incident, when you had the incident up in the other teacher's classroom, everything was directed back at me, and it's not about me, son. It's about obeying the school rules, and it's about doing what you're asked to do by adults.
Is this one of the rule books?
That is my book as an administrator.
Do you mind if I...
Yeah, I do.
Oh, can I see a rule book, please? And I can point out to you the rules that actually state that that you're discriminating against me. Like, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I'm trying to stay as respectful and calm and polite with you as possible.
Do you mind if I step out and call Mom? Are you okay with that? Do you want me to call another administrator? Okay. I'll be right back.
Can I see an agenda book? Would you mind bringing like an agenda book or rule book back with you?
I'll tell you what, I'll get you one.
Thank you.
I don't know. I don't have one. Do you have one, Mr.
Yeah, I think we can find one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me see if they found one.
Basically, we're at a point where I was trying to say, hey, I need you to take your hood off. We've made a compensation because typically, the outfit I wouldn't allow either. But I don't want to make a huge deal about that. I'd rather him be in class. However, he can't wear the head covering because, as you can see, it's drawing quite a bit of attention. And, he keeps coming back with the fact that, I'm discriminating against him. It's really starting to infringe on other people, and it's going to infringe on the classroom environment. If you were a teacher, you wouldn't be able to teach.
Actually, my teachers have been fine.
When you didn't have the hat on.
I had my hat on pretty much all the time.
Okay.
Have you talked to any of my teachers, like Miss Stallings, Dr. Phil, Dr. Carroll? Everyone calls him Dr. Phil by his first name. Dr. Talbot and Mr. Cameron. If you've talked to them, they would say it's not a distraction. They're actually okay with it because they accept me for who I am as a penguin.
Okay.
And the equal opportunity statement, like, I don't understand why people who are Islamic are allowed to wear, like, turbans and their burqas and their head coverings, but I'm not. Because we're both equals under the equal opportunity statement, yet you're treating me different than them. But we should be treated as equals.
That's a religious...
Yeah, this is my...
Because I think what we're doing here is, in the discrimination piece, let me clear up the interpretation of that. The interpretation is that us as administrators cannot discriminate when we discipline students. In other words, we should not give students additional consequences because of their race, religion, creed, and so on. That's what that is, and I don't want you to get twisted. Just because we're asking you to remove your headgear is not discriminating against you. Okay?
I apply under the equal opportunity statement, don't I?
So
just
let me
like
ask
them.
you this. Okay, you're saying that you're a penguin.
Yeah.
All right. Is that on your birth certificate? Because what we can do is, when I work with athletes who are, let's say, transgender and so on, I need to check the birth certificate, and we go by what's on the birth certificate, regardless of how they feel, how they act, what they say. Okay, so I'm just giving you a basis of some of the other things that I've had. Okay. Okay. So I think what we're just trying to do is not take away the fact that how you feel or what you're claiming to be.
I'm not claiming to be, I am.
Okay, then what you are. What we're trying to do is we're trying to keep it in line with our dress code policy, which is asking you to remove your hood.
But I don't understand, like, the people who are, I don't get, like, why can Islamic people wear their hood and I can't? Because under the equal opportunity statement, we're both equals. Their race and I am my identity expression.
Identity expression?
Yeah.
So I think Mr. Weir just explained the identity thing. I mean, like, when it comes to identity, he's going to go off, we're going to go off what's on the birth certificate. And that's how we do with transgender. Okay? So if it says that you are a male, okay, then you would be expected to be what?
Is that what you use pretty much right there? Because the thing is, like, it doesn't really say species on the birth certificate. It's just a birth certificate with your name and gender. It doesn't have species, though.
We're just trying to rationalize. We're trying to be rational.
Yeah, I'm trying to be rational too by just pointing out the equal opportunity statement. Like, they would be people who are Islamic would be put under religion, and I would be put under the identity expression. So we're technically equals under the equal opportunity statement, but they're allowed to wear their headgear and I'm not. I just don't understand that. Like, could you explain that to me somehow? How they're allowed to wear their headgear and I'm not, when under the equal opportunity statement we're equals? Like, why do they have an exception from headgear? I feel like they're receiving different treatment than me. Like, I'm receiving unfair treatment for some reason. I don't know what I've done to deserve this.
Well, the reason that I called you in was
Okay.
because you had been given clear directions as far as not wearing the hood. We allowed you to wear the costume, the top. Okay.
When was I given directions not to wear the hood? I was just informed of this today.
Yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, you were told not to wear the hood.
No, I wasn't.
So okay, and again,
Mom, was I ever called into the office yesterday? I even came home from school and you asked, and I said I wasn't called into the office. I was never. I think there was some sort of administration error on your part because I was never called into the office. And you could actually ask my teachers.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you: is when I called you in here and I said, you can't wear the hood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was giving you the opportunity to remove the hood.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still going to give you the opportunity to remove the hood. If you want to stay at school today, and you want to go to your next period, and you want to finish off the day, you can't wear the hood in the building. Okay, I don't the top part. I don't care. The hood you can't wear, and and that's when I called Mom yesterday. I don't want this to become a big distraction.
What?
I don't want it to become undermining school authority.
I don't understand. Like, what are you talking about? This? Like, I don't like pronouns. Can be confusing. Like this, you're just saying this. Could you like say what this is, or are you just gonna refer to it as this because it's what you've referred to it as? You've never actually given a name of what this is.
You have a costume on, son.
This is my skin. I'm a penguin.
So,
Clinton, I know you're obsessed with penguins. I know we've watched Happy Feet 1 and 2, March of the Penguins. We've talked a lot about penguins.
I just like them. I'm a penguin, okay? I'm not a person. I'm a penguin.
So I called your mom in.
Let me ask this, because I'm confused. Because what I say I am, I become.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm getting?
No, I don't identify as a person. I identify as a penguin. Just like the transgender
But you
people.
said you were a penguin.
I am a penguin.
Okay. And so here, my question is...
It's just like transgender, but with a different species. I don't see why that's so hard to understand.
Then let's go back to the birth certificate.
Well, can you put down that I'm a penguin on my birth certificate?
I'm not,
Change my race to
that's
penguin?
not me, okay? I was just trying to give you some additional information to help you understand why we are talking to you about this headgear, the hood. That's why.
I'm just trying to be who I want to be, man. I'm just trying to be the person I was born to be, not who I've been told I have to be. I just want to be a penguin. That's who I was born as. I wasn't.
And this is kind of.
I'm a penguin trapped inside a human's body. I just want to be free with the penguins. I wish I could just march with them. I just want to be a penguin.
You could still, just like Troy wears his gorilla thing, but he doesn't have a head thing. You could do that too.
How? Without the head, I'm not a penguin anymore. I'm just someone pretending.
Well, are you saying that Troy isn't a gorilla because he doesn't have?
He doesn't have a
mask?
headpiece. I'm a penguin. This is part of me. This is part of my penguin. If I take that out, then I'm losing my beak. Do you have any ideas on what I could do to have a beak if I didn't? Like, could I wear like a beak over my face, maybe?
No.
Because under the equal opportunity statement, it says that
You have a pocket. Put the beak in your pocket.
I have the equal opportunities as people who are different religions who are allowed to wear headgear. I just don't get why I'm not allowed to wear headgear if they are. When under the equal opportunity statement, we're both equals, yet they're being treated different when I'm supposed to be treated equal. Because you know that when you're treated equal, if you're supposed to be treated equal and you treat someone different, it's not treating equal.
Captain, one of the things that we like to use when we are working with students is reasonableness.
Yeah.
You know, what we're asking is reasonable within what we would ask any student here.
Just
Okay? What you're doing is you are comparing yourself to a decision that was a long-standing decision about students with certain religious beliefs. Okay?
I believe it was a Supreme Court decision. I believe.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
the Supreme Court's even defending me.
Your interpretation of discrimination and equal opportunity is not quite accurate. All right?
I don't know about
so we
that.
we do have the right to ask you to remove your headgear.
But you can't force me to remove it or tell me like
we can't. But what happens is then we have to take other courses of action.
But
and what Mr. Wyant is trying to say,
it's against the rules for you to do
doesn't
that.
want to do that. All right.
It's not like allowed
So-
for. That's like against the rules for you guys to ask me to remove my headgear.
No, it's really
like
not.
the equal
Okay.
opportunity statement says that I'm allowed to wear it.
So what Mr. Wyant has said is, you want to continue in class,
Hmm.
you can remove it and we can go on and go forth.
Do you think there could be like other penguin commodities at the school if I were to remove the headgear? Like,
But if you don't,
okay, I'm
then
just asking.
Then that's going to
if
cause
I remove
another
the headgear,
action to the
like,
our
is there a
reaction
special
to the
place I
action.
could use the bathroom that can make me feel like more like a penguin?
Penguins don't have bathrooms, son.
I know that's why I don't like the bathrooms here. I don't feel like I'm a penguin when I'm using the bathroom here.
So you want to go outside?
Could I? Like, they have lots of trees.
See, once again, we're talking about reasonableness. You're not asking to be reasonable.
Could I use
Penguins
maybe?
don't
I think right
Could
now,
maybe could we put like a tree in like the bathroom or maybe in the clinic
We
bathroom?
No,
don't have trees in Antarctica.
I think right now,
No,
is-
some penguins are tropical though,
I think
and
we need to make our decisions made. I think, we can't continue with this.
I'm not trying to have a fight or
Our
anything.
decision is, it's very clear. As Mr. Wyant said, remove and continue or not. So,
Okay.
what we'll do is we'll give you a few minutes together
Okay.
and we'll come back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool.
Okay, so I'll take the hood off while I'm at school.
Okay.
Am I allowed to talk to like counselors about this and maybe start like a TransSpecies club for people who identify as different species? Like, would that be possible to start like a TransSpecies club, maybe named like the Zoo Crew?
I can talk to you about that because I'm in charge of clubs and activities. Now, no clubs and activities can start during the school year, however,
Okay.
next year,
We could start a TransSpecies club maybe for people who identify as different species.
if you follow the club guidelines of starting a new club.
That would
it
be
is
wonderful.
approved, absolutely.
For myself
Which
for
one
now.
do you
Okay.
like? Do you like Happy Feet series better or March of the
Honey.
Penguins?